At least 15 people were killed by a Russian attack on Kyiv last night. No sign of peace there, and President Trump leaving the G7 summit in Canada before that meeting with Volodymyr Zelensky does not encourage thoughts of the president stepping in to put pressure on Putin anytime very soon. The president had this to say about the expulsion of Russia from the G8 after the annexation of Crimea.
The G7 used to be the G8. Barack Obama and a person named Trudeau didn't want to have Russia in. And I would say that was a mistake, because I think you wouldn't have a war right now if you had Russia in. And you wouldn't have a war right now if Trump were president 4 years ago. But it didn't work out that way. But it used to be the G8, and now it's, I guess, what's that, 8 years ago, it switched over. They threw Russia out, which I claimed was a very big mistake. Even though I wasn't in politics then, I was very loud about it. It was a mistake in that you spend so much time talking about Russia, and he's no longer at the table. So it makes life more complicated. But you wouldn't have had the war.
Donald Trump there. Now let's talk to Oleksandr Merezhko, the chair of Ukraine's Foreign Affairs Committee at the Ukrainian Parliament. Hello to you, Oleksandr.
Thank you for inviting me.
Always welcome. So Donald Trump has now left, of course, the G7 in Canada. He's back in the USA. He didn't meet Volodymyr Zelensky. I mean, how disappointed are you by that?
Well, honestly, it is quite disappointing for us, because we hope that it will be used, this summit will be used as an opportunity to have meeting between President Zelensky and President Trump. We know that the package of military assistance, which was provided previously by the Biden administration, is going to run out rather soon, maybe even in July. And of course, our primary concern is somehow to get military assistance from the United States. And I believe that it was supposed to be a topic for conversation between both presidents. And unfortunately, because President Trump decided to leave the summit, this direct conversation between both presidents is not going to happen, which is very disappointing.
Yeah, it is also clear, isn't it, that the President of the United States, he means, well, not just to impose no stronger sanctions on Putin, but he's implicitly accepted that Russia means to keep attacking. He's accepted that. He's spoken of Ukraine and Russia fighting it out like children in the playground. Has that had a material effect, Alexander, on the battle, on the war?
We continue to hold on, no matter what, with American assistance or not. We hope that we can rely on support of our European partners, and we hope that we at least will be able to buy American weaponry, again, with the material support of our reliable partners, European partners, including the UK, of course. But we lack this direct communication between both presidents, and it might have serious impact, because the primary concern right now, in the light of what happened last night and happened before, because these bombardments, it's our everyday, every night reality. We need American air defense systems.
Yes.
And if we don't have enough missiles from the United States, unfortunately, there will be more civilian casualties in Kyiv, in other cities. So we need to do everything we can to defend our population.
I mean, can the other leaders gathered in Canada, can they make a material difference? I mean, yes, there have been some sanctions announced, more are going to be coming on individuals in Russia, for example, but we won't see, it seems, a reduction in the oil price cap, which would, had it been brought in, that would have significantly reduced the ability of Russia to buy weapons, and it isn't going to be happening at this G7 summit. Without America, can they do very much?
It will be really hard to continue to fight without American military assistance, because the United States has those kinds of weaponry which our European partners don't have, especially, for example, Patriot system, different kinds of missiles used for air defense. And our European partners will be doing, and we understand, will be doing everything they can. But unfortunately, without American weaponry, it will be much more harder.
Right. I mean, look, I'm not sure how seriously we should even take this next intervention. It's from the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, and they have begun talking in a statement about the chances of a false flag attack by Britain on a US Navy ship to try to give the impression of great further Russian aggression. I mean, I'm not sure there is much to be said about that, but what would you say about that?
Well, it's very typical for Russians. We have noticed, and there was like lots of proof about this, that before committing some kind of provocation or a war crime, Russia is accusing the victim. So it's very typical for Russian sort of tactics or strategy, military strategy. So, and it's a very worrisome sign, because we have to expect some kind of provocation very soon, and Russia would never stop to continue to commit to make such provocations.
All right, Oleksandr, always good to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining me on the programme.